Hey guys, Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I've got a sheath to show you today. This one is for a Benchmade Bushcrafter 162. This is one of my all-time favorite knives. Absolutely love this thing. Shout out to my buddy Scott over in Australia who traded this to me for some Kydex work a couple years ago. And we've done a ton of trades since then, but this was actually the very first one on the table for our trades. So I cherish this thing, and it's an awesome knife. So if you guys aren't already familiar with this, you do need to go check it out. It is a fantastic blade. This one is going to a gentleman named Greg. He asked me to do his sheath all in Kryptek Typhon, so that's what you're seeing here. And it's got some accessories and a really modular, versatile carry setup. So let's check this out. On the front, you have a small Altoid tin. You can see that the logo is stamped in there. I think that came out nicely. And the tin can pull out either the top or the bottom. Doesn't really matter. If you are going to operate it by pushing it out the top, the one thing to note is that just based on the clearance, you can see obviously the part of the sheath where the handle sits is a little bit further out than the base of the tin. So as you push it, it's actually going to flex the holder a little bit away from the sheath. That's not going to do it any harm. You don't have to worry about that. It's perfectly safe. It's just what's going to happen. So maybe adds just a touch of resistance, but totally doable. Shouldn't be a problem. Down here we have an Exotec fire rod, and this is one of their Gen 2s. I wasn't actually expecting to get this particular design in the mail, but I ordered it from a seller on eBay, and this is what came. So it's actually a bit bigger than the regular Exotec fire rod. It actually has some tinder packed in there. The capsule here, the watertight capsule, is a little bit bigger than the regular capsule is on most fire rods, or at least the Gen 1s, or whatever we're calling them. So you have a little bit more tinder storage. And then the rod itself is longer than the original version. So kind of an unexpected surprise there, but I think that really worked out. So Greg's going to get this fire rod in this package, obviously. This thing should be good to go for a long time. So we got that. And then down here we have a Sunnto clipper compass. This is my favorite compass to put on Kydex sheaths. Here's why. It has an actual, it's called a clipper because it's got this little bottom jaw. You can see the teeth that are kind of what do you want to say, like interlacing here. So you can clip it onto your pocket, onto your shirt, onto whatever else. And how I set it up on Kydex sheaths now is I'll do a little floated plate. You can see that this reinforcement plate is not directly attached to the sheath. It's just riveted on there. It's on there with Chicago screws rather. And there are rubber spacers in between the plate and the sheath itself. And then I drill that little hole. And what that does, it allows you to slip the clipper portion of the compass underneath the plate. And you just push the tooth until you hear it click in place. Well, it's actually a little bit tight, so in this case it's not clicking in because there's enough friction to prevent it from full-on clicking, but you push it over there until you can see the body of the compass fall down into it and sit flush. And that's when it's in its position, it's retained, it's secure, and it's good to go. The reason why I make them like this is so that you can remove the compass from the sheath. There is clearly metallic elements all around this, as well as obviously the knife that's going to be sitting directly behind it, and all that metal is going to mess with the reading. So you need to be able to remove your compass, get it well away from all the metal, and then take an accurate reading and press on. So that's why I have the compass set up like that. You can see I've got a floated plate on the back as well. So if you wanted to switch your compass over to the back side, you could definitely do that. But really the purpose that for having it on the back here is because this is a 100% ambidextrous sheath. So you can actually take every element of this sheath off and then swap it over to the opposite side. In this case, You don't have to do anything with the plates because there's one on each side anyway, but you can take the ferro rod holder, the tin holder, and the tech lock off and move them to the opposite side of the sheath. So depending on how you want to carry it, what kind of configurations you're looking to go with for the day, you're going to have those options. This carry setup, this is one of my favorite carry setups to use and to build. This is an invention of mine, and basically it's a super simple thing. It allows you to be able to carry the tech lock, carry the knife on the tech lock in a horizontal position. So if you want to carry it in scout position, maybe you want to put it on your left hip with the handle facing forward a little bit and do kind of like a horizontal cross draw instead of a canted cross draw. You can definitely do that. And then immediately transition this to a right-handed vertical carry on a dangler. Switch that compass back over. And to do that, all you got to do is put this little adapter into the tech lock like so. Close it up, and it's locked in there pretty good. So you instantly convert this into a dangler system, which is a really cool, convenient thing. So this is what I call a tech lock clasp dangler. And obviously clasp coming from the fact that the tech lock clasps the dangler. So how I do this is obviously I just take a rectangular sheet of Kydex and I fold it over the straight bar of a D-ring. And this is 0.125 inch thick Kydex, so it's a 1/4 inch thick overall, which actually fills up the belt recess of the tech lock exactly. And then at the bottom of this, I use a couple pieces of hardware with some finish washers, basically just Chicago screws and finish washers to create a natural stopper so that you can't have the dangler accidentally pull through and fall off. So what I would recommend is when you're out in the field and you're using this in as a tech lock carry, whether it's scout position for left hand or cross draw for the right hand, whatever you're going to do there, I would recommend that you just leave the dangler on your belt. In this case, it is fixed with Chicago screws rather than snaps. So that means that you're going to have to weave your belt through this. But if you want, you can just weave your belt through it and leave it attached to your belt. That way you don't have to take your belt apart or undo it or whatever to get your dangler on and off. You literally just have to open the tech lock and clasp around this dangler. So one thing I want to bring to everybody's attention, I'm not going to use names. If you want to do research, you're welcome to go do that. I make no bones about it. But there is another maker out there who is claiming that he is the one that came up with this tech lock. I don't know what he calls his, but tech lock clasp dangler. And I've been making these for quite a while. It's well documented that I've been doing it a lot longer. And I'm only saying this on the camera because I'm really quite perturbed by the fact that anybody is copying anybody else. And I've said it to a lot of guys, and those of you who have ever reached out to me and asked for any kind of Kydex help know that I am always willing to give my 2 cents and do even tutorials and things like that, give advice, just trade ideas and things like that. I don't care if somebody is using something that I've created. That's not the issue here. It's claiming intellectual property on something that somebody else has made. So I just wanted to get that out there. Let me know what you guys think of that down below. If it's not copyrighted or patented, is it unethical to use it? I say it is, or at least unethical to claim that you created it. But that's just my 2 cents. So anyway, guys, that's what I got for you. Real focus is this sheath. I think it came out really nice, and I'm really happy to do anything to this Benchmade Bushcrafter 162. I love building sheaths for this knife just because I love the knife so much. So tell me, guys, what do you think of this thing? What do you think of Benchmade's fixed blades? And how do you think this particular knife stacks up to other knives? And I think this thing goes for right around 200 the last time I checked. So you can get a lot of really good knives for 200 or around that price range, including things like Bark Rivers. So Give me your 2 cents below. What do you think? How does this stack up against the competition? For me, this is probably a top 10. And I have a lot of knives that I really love, so that's saying something to make the top 10. But all right, guys, let me know what you think down below. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Thanks so much for sticking around. Hope I'll see you in the next one. God bless.